What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Abel. Thank you for being here, and I'm sorry for the delay. I haven't been able to make a video in the past 2 weeks because, as you can see from the title and the contents of this video, we've been extremely busy. I got some good news. My wife actually got the citizenship already. I mean, she already had the citizenship, but she got the passport. She got her DNI, her ID, and I got my NIE activated, and I can work. I'm good. We're all legals. We're ready to go. And this video is going to be about talking about the whole timetable because the whole process took almost 3 years. So we're going to break it down to show you guys, if you guys are going through the same process or thinking of doing the same thing, you kind of know what to expect. You can learn from our mistakes, and let's get to it. Before we get started, if you could please hit the like button. If you don't want to subscribe, 70% of you guys don't subscribe but still watch the channel. Hey, that's up to you, but if you can at least do something, please hit the like button. And as a thank you to that, here's a picture of a dolphin. All right, so let's get started. Now, it all started back in October 2023 when my wife and my mother-in-law applied for La Ley de Memoria Democrática through my wife's grandmother, my mother-in-law's mom. She was a Spanish citizen, so they applied through her for this law. They told us it was going to take about a year. I mean, little did we know it's going to take way more than that. But it all started in October 2023. So we applied, we're chilling, we're living in South Florida. And in June 2024, we decided, you know what? I want the girls to start school. As I've said in many of the videos before, I want the girls to start school in Spain at the beginning of the school year, which will be September 2024, right? So we decided to apply for the non-lucrative visa to come here, and we had a year, and we hope that in that year everything will take care of as far as the whole citizenship thing. So again, we applied in June 2024 for the non-lucrative visa, and in September 2024 we arrived in Spain with that visa. My in-laws stayed in the States because obviously they couldn't apply for that visa, so they were just waiting for the citizenship. So we fast forward to May 2025. All right, we're already in 2025, we're in May, and my wife and mother-in-law both received La Literal, which is basically the Spanish birth certificate. At this point, all the paperwork they pushed through back in October of 2023 was received, was approved, and they're both citizen, right? But in order for them to get the Spanish passport and Spanish ID, the DNI, you need to request another literal, another birth certificate that is stamped specifically for her DNI and passport. Without that, they won't give it to you. So May 2025, they both received it and they both requested it for the DNI and passport. Now, my wife, because at this point we're not working with a lawyer, we're doing everything ourselves. We are learning on the spot, and we're using AI to help us with pretty much all of this. Now, my wife and my mother-in-law requested, La Literal for first DNI and passport, requested it twice. One request was for the DNI and the another request was for the passport. Later on, we learned that either one of us worked for both things, so we didn't need to do it twice. But I mean, it really didn't hurt. So this was May 2025. In September 2025, our visa expired. So me and the kids become irregular, right? Illegals, irregular. They don't call it illegals here. They call it irregular. Basically, my wife has a citizenship but no ID, but our ID is expired, so we again are irregular. So at this point, we're just waiting, right? We're waiting to see how long it's gonna take for my wife to get that paper. So fast forward to November 2025, my mother-in-law received La Literal for her first DNI and passport. She goes to the police station and walks out with both things within days of receiving it. So we're kind of excited. They got it, they're already here, and me and my wife are thinking, her paper is gonna get here anytime. It wasn't quite like that, but we're hoping. Every day that goes by is like it's gonna get here. I mean, they put the paperwork at the same time. Everything is pretty much the same. They did it through her grandma, so she should have it anytime. But in January 2026, we get horrible news because we get 2 emails saying that they couldn't find my wife's paperwork for both requests that was made back in May of 25. What does that mean? She's already a citizen, but they couldn't find her paperwork. The emails was very unclear. It just says they couldn't find it. Please request it again. At this point, it had been what, 8 months, right? So we did the same thing. We requested it again. This was January of this year, 26. In March of 2026, we go to El Registro Civil de Zaragoza for a follow-up because we're kind of getting worried. I mean, my mother-in-law got it months ago, and my wife, she waited 8 months just to get an email saying that they couldn't find it. So now we're in March and we're afraid that we're gonna wait another 8 months and the same thing was gonna happen. So we go to El Registro Civil de Zaragoza for a follow-up, and they tell us that the certificate is not digitized. So that's the problem. Whoever has to look for the certificate has to manually look for it, which according to, no, well, not according, well, it seemed that is a very hard job to do, to look for a certificate manually. And I get it, thousands and thousands of people are doing this. So it is what it is. So basically they said, look, you just gotta wait. So this is March 2026. We go to early May 2026 and we go to El Registro Civil de Zaragoza once again to check the status. They said that since Madrid sent an email stating that it wasn't found, Zaragoza thought it must have meant that their certificate was still in La Habana, Cuba. So remember, back in January, Madrid sent an email that it wasn't found. So the Registro Civil in Zaragoza thought that, okay, so Madrid doesn't have it, so it must be in La Habana, because the whole process, since my wife was born in Cuba, a lot of people said that it had to go to La Habana to get approved, to get stamped, and to get all that stuff. And then from La Habana it goes to Miami, because we did the whole thing there in the consulate in Spain in Miami, and then from there it goes to Madrid. But it was very confusing because my mother-in-law got the paperwork from Madrid. But anyways, so Zaragoza said that, you know what, we're gonna request it. They requested it to La Habana, but they also said it could take up to a year. When we heard that, we were like, what the bro, like what? This is, mind you, early May 2026. They said it's gonna take up to a year. They said to not request it again under no circumstances, because it could like glitch the system, and then it could potentially take longer than that, which is already gonna take a year according to them. And they said because of course, La Habana, Cuba has horrible circumstances. They have no power, they have nothing, they are working with pretty much nothing. So that's what it's gonna take that long. So this is early May 2026, and we were like, you know what, bro, like there's no way, like we gotta do something, because we just, at this point, even though we came in a non-lucrative, which we weren't supposed to work, our plan was always, after that year, get a job and start working. I mean, my pension from the military is not, even though it's unlimited, it's for the rest of my life, it's not enough to cover everything as far as like what we want to do. We just don't want to just not do anything. I mean, I'm 32, I need to work. Like we were like going out of our minds pretty much. So we decided, you know what, let's hire a lawyer to request it for us through Clave. Clave is a system that the Spanish government uses to verify your identity digitally. All right, so we couldn't have a Clave because our ID was expired and we didn't have no ID. So the lawyer used Clave to request it for us directly from Madrid. She said it wasn't in La Habana, it was in Madrid. I mean, my mother-in-law got it from Madrid. Madrid is the ultimate stop. It had to be. So speaking of lawyers, if you guys are thinking of moving to Spain, or you're already here and having problem with your residency status or reapplying for a visa, make sure you guys check out Hoply. They use immigration lawyers to help with whatever it is you need. Click on the description below to get 20% off the initial phone call with them to see what they can do for you. All right, moving on. So we went to the lawyer, they requested it, they said it was gonna take about 2 weeks to get a response from Madrid, not to get the paper, right? To get a response from Madrid. But at this point, we're kind of desperate, right? So this is May 12th. June 3rd comes and we haven't heard anything. We reached out to the lawyers and we haven't heard, they said that, they haven't heard anything. So obviously we're kind of going through it. This is already June 3rd. It's been a year already waiting for that paper. So what do? In June 3rd, we rent a car and we go to El Registro Civil de Madrid to complain. It's not really to complain, but we basically are explaining our situation and telling them, look, this has been taking for like a year. Like, give me a little more explanation of besides the email that we got saying that they couldn't find it. Please apply again. So my wife made the appointment and we go there in one day. We rent a car, we go in the morning, we come back in the afternoon. It took like 10 minutes once we got there, it took like really 10 minutes. We talked to the lady. They basically told us that, look, we saw that you applied in May. We saw that you got that email saying that they couldn't find it. They really didn't tell us why they couldn't find it. They moved on to the next thing. The one we requested back in January was still pending. So they were able to put a reclamación, right? Like a reclaiming. They basically said, look, we can do something, fill out this paperwork and we'll send it upstairs and they can actually work on it quick. They said it was gonna take about 2 weeks to a month. Now, a little side note, this is El Registro Civil de Madrid, right? So I'm not expecting, but it's just when I got there, it just didn't seem like an official government building. I feel like low-key, like my living room right here look better than that building. I don't know, it just seemed like lower resources. It seemed like it was just like a back room, it seemed like a basement. They put a split on, some AC, and they put 2 tables and a security in the front, and they call it Registro Civil de Madrid, which is, again, a little side note. It seemed crazy to me that the one here in Zaragoza, it's huge. I mean, it's an official government building. It's humongous. It looks good. You can tell that it's somewhat important because it is. The one in Madrid. All right, moving on because I'm ranting. Okay, so where we at? So again, they told us that it was gonna take 2 weeks to a month to receive that paper after that day. This was June 3rd. This was a Wednesday. So guys, on June 5th, my wife got the email. I'm literally laying on the couch, I'm watching TV, I'm about to pick up the kids from school, lunch break, and my wife's, she went to the market, she comes back, she comes over to me at the couch and she's like, we got it. And in my mind, the first thing I thought was like, but I was like, there's no way, it's been 2 days. But she was like, we got it, I got the email. And man, the relieved, right? It was just like, fuck, like finally, we were able to breathe. She got it. All we have to do is just make an appointment at the police station and she will get her DNA and passport, which as you can see here, it was pretty amazing day. Now on June 9th, we went to a police station to get my wife DNA and passport with an appointment. They gave her a password for an electronic DNA, but really no instructions on what to do or where to go or how to set it up, which we really didn't think about it that much, but I'll tell you now that it's gonna become important in a little bit. So that was June 9th. June 10th, we figured out that we must go back to the police station to be able to get the DNA digitally on your phone with a machine that they have at the station. Now, why do you need with that? Because anything that has to do with government appointments, government websites, if you have that DNA electronically, everything has to, you can do everything through your phone. You don't have to, it makes everything easier pretty much. But again, we were just there, bro. They don't tell us that we could do that. They don't tell us how to do that. I don't know, maybe it was just that lady that was helping my wife, but it was very annoying that we had to go back there and do everything, whatever, we got it. So we also noticed that there were no appointments for me and the kids to get our 5-year residency, right? And reactivate our NIE. Again, our NIE was expired because of the visa. And by the way, the NIE number doesn't change. Once you have one, that's gonna be yours for life until you change to your DNI. So, and we don't want to automatically apply. So here's the thing, right? A lot of you may be thinking, why don't you just apply for citizenship? Like at least my kids, right? Why don't the kids apply for citizenship through my wife now that she's a citizen? And we're gonna do that, but the problem is we have some friends that did that before applying for her NIE, right? Her residency. And it took 2.5 years. 2.5 years for them to get that citizenship paperwork. So we were like, no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply for their NIE, get their residency, and at least if we have to leave the country, if we have to go back to the States to visit or whatever, we can do that because they're legal coming in, right? Coming back to Spain. And after we have that, we can just apply for citizenship. And if it takes 2.5 years, it takes 2.5 years, but at least we're good. We don't have to worry about none of this. Now, we also figure out that we can do all of this online without an appointment, which again, there were no appointments available, right? So this was June 10th. So also on June 10th, we start gathering all the necessary paperwork for the kids and I. We noticed that the kids' US passport expired a couple days ago. In a couple of days. Actually, it expired 2 days ago, June 14. So what we had to show is that we already made an appointment for the US Embassy in Madrid, and we have paid the money to renew their passports, both of them, which is $135 each. Here's the list of the full documents you need, or we needed, for to apply for that residency, which was a lot, right? So we got, well, I'm not gonna read it. You guys see it right here. Now, this was a lot. It was like a book, right? It was like a book of things. And thank God we had copies of everything, because since we already had to get almost all these paperwork for our visa, everything was already apostilled and everything was already translated. So thank God we already had that. We just had to make a bunch of copies of it. So June 11th comes. Again, this is all last week, for the past 2 weeks, this is what I've been doing, right? So June 11th comes and we couldn't use Clave, like I said, the government system to verify your stuff, because to submit the docs, the DNI, my wife's DNI wasn't in the system yet. Even though she had it, it takes a couple days to be in the system. So she couldn't use Clave. So the system, it wasn't available for us. But lucky for us, we got an appointment that day, June 11th, we got an appointment for next day, which was crazy. I'm guessing somebody just canceled and we got an appointment. So on June 12th, we go to Extranjería to submit my paperwork in person for residency. And well, here you go. So after a long time, we just got out of, Extranjería, and I got it. So they basically just reactivated my NIE that was expired since September of last year, and now I can work, it says it here on this paper. And we had wearing about 1 million copies and papers of pretty much everything. But to be honest, it was pretty smooth once we got all the documents. So now, time to find a job. All right, so that's it. I got all that stuff. I'm ready. I'm good to work. All I'm missing is the kits. But again, on June 13, my wife was finally able to get to Clave and Mercurio, which is basically a portal used to submit documents electronically, right? So you need Clave and you need Mercurio. So we submitted everything for both kids, and we got a resguardo that proved that you have legal status in the country by email. So, and we couldn't submit, we couldn't submit all the documents because of the size. Each file that you're submitting cannot be bigger than 6 megabytes. And the whole packet cannot be bigger than 15 megabytes. Now this is crazy because, as you can see from the previous video, it was like a package this big. I mean, just the US passport alone, all the pages it's a big ass file, right? So we had to reduce everything, change this stuff. But again, we got it. We were able to get it done. It's all good. Now me and my kids are legal. We have residency status. We're chilling. The only thing really I'm missing that I need to do is the background check. Again, if you guys see my short, I was complaining about the getting the fingerprints done here in Spain. I already did that. I sent the fingerprints to the FBI in the States. I actually have to get them back, and then I have to send them back to the States to get them apostilled and translated. And then when I receive them back, I would upload it and finish my process. But as of now, I'm good. So guys, now lastly, let's see what we could have done differently. Now, knowing that after 6 months of waiting for La Literal for the first DNI and passport, we could have gone to Madrid and requested it sooner, that would have been huge, right? Because remember, we requested it first in May 2025, 6 months after. If we hadn't received it, we could have just gone to Madrid and done this about 8 months before. But we didn't know. So if you're going through the same process, you guys can do that. Also, with our NIE from our visa, we could have done Clave. We could have had Clave activated, which again is way better than when making appointments through to anything here in Spain, because you pretty much need an appointment for anything. And again, they're so backed up because of whatever reason. A simple appointment could be a month out. But with Clave, since it's verified that you have an ID, it's verified by the Spanish government, you're able to see pretty much better appointments, to make it simple. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I know it was I don't know how long the video is, maybe 20 minutes, but I mean, it was a lot of things happened. And if you guys are going through the same process, or you're in the middle of it, or you're starting it, or you're almost at the end, I know you're gonna appreciate this video. If you do, again, leave it a like. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. You know, at this point, I answer to almost every comment. And the next step for me is looking for a job. I've already talked to a few people here in Zaragoza that are Americans, and they have some jobs and stuff. So I gotta get my curricula, which is, the resume going, and get it popping. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one, and just